All right, welcome to part three of three. I do want you to take a look at the closing case in chapter three. A lot of people don't read all the kind of end bits at the end of each chapter, but this one is particularly, well, I think it's scary, what they figure out about their consumers, and I think it gets into a very ethical area, unethical use of information. But back to privacy, again, number one issue, ethical issue of our time. Uh, Privacy addresses three things: the collection of data, the accuracy of data. Actually, we're saying information at this point, and the confidentiality of information. So, protecting this information is important. The idea of transborder data flows, it's a weird phrase for a very simple idea. The idea is this: we know this aspect of data is important, that it's easy for data to be copied and to move through the internet, and to, regardless of what country's network it passes through, going from one place to another. So if your data is temporarily, like, in flight, in transit, between point A and point B, and it passes through a different country's router or server, for example, which privacy laws govern that data at that moment? Do you see why this becomes a very tricky issue? Okay, the last topic, perhaps the most important topic, important in terms of what SIUE values. So one of our core values, if you look at our website, is sustainability. And I'm always surprised at students not understanding what that means. And it's typical to associate sustainability with environmentalism and going green, and that's certainly a big part of sustainability. Um, so energy utilization, carbon management, abiding by environmental laws, facilities design and management in terms of having an efficient data center. So for CMIS people, this involves clustered servers using blade server technology that doesn't use as much energy consumption as traditional server design. There are a lot of aspects, there are a lot of ways that IT can help an organization go green, but sustainability is more than just going green. I found this one graphic that I think explains it best. That if you want to think of three aspects of sustainability, different people have different definitions of sustainability, but this is a good one. That there's environmental sustainability that we talked about in terms of going green, recycling, using less energy, using less water, not polluting the air. The second is economic sustainability, and think of this in terms of for the long term, for the long haul, not focused on short-term profits, but long-term sustainability. And then the third aspect is social sustainability, and this is the tricky one, but this is what gets into ethics and social responsibility. It's hard to make the argument, or at least it used to be hard to make the argument with companies why they need to focus on the social aspects of sustainability, but the reality is that it can reduce risk in terms of, well, not just legal, but there are a lot of risks. It can help reduce costs, attracting new employees, because when you're looking for a job, you would probably rather work for a company that is serious about sustainability, both environmental, economic, and social. And this in turn gives you a competitive advantage. It gets you to think about things differently if you're focused on sustainability, which leads to innovation. There are a lot of compelling reasons, and more and more studies are starting to look at companies that focus on this long-term sustainability. These three aspects tend to be tend to, well, be more productive and more profitable. Another little graphic, I would say this, the old school way of looking at sustainability is that environmental and social concerns are at odds with financial concerns, that it's a zero-sum game. You have to trade off one for the other. If one wins, the others are going to lose, and vice versa. The current thinking is rather if all three views are in sync, There is a way to make it a win-win, or in this case, a win-win-win, but only when you're thinking of the long-term success of your business. So I would put it to you that sustainability is a critical business process, a business process that requires management. And what I'm doing is I'm tying in the idea of sustainability as a business process to tie in with the overarching idea, well, going back to chapter 1 and throughout this course of business process management. So sustainability is an incredibly important ethical, legal, business idea, and it's probably going to be that much more important for your generation than it ever was for mine. So focusing on sustainability in your business is going to be critically important to your success and your company's success. So I will see you in class. Thanks. Bye-bye.